welcome back to I Love the Library. My name is Eliza Gores, and I am the Youth Services Librarian here at the Detroit Lakes Public Library. I am definitely the Youth Services Librarian because, one, I love children's books. I love doing children's programming, but I absolutely adore children's fantasy novels. If you had to decide what book would represent me the most, it would be a book that has magic, fairies, dragons, witches, wizards, people transforming into dinosaurs. It doesn't matter. I absolutely adore anything that has some sort of magical, whimsy, fairy tale-esque type elements to it. So the books that I'm going to be talking about today are not going to be a shock to anybody because they all have all of those things. They have magic, they have dragons, they have an ability that I would absolutely love to do. So without further ado, let's talk about The Adventurers Wanted. This is book number 1 in the Adventurers Wanted series. It's called Slathbog's, he's a dragon, Slathbog's Gold. In this book, we meet Alex, who is just your normal kid. He lives with his stepdad and his stepbrother, and he just doesn't really like all the things that are happening in his life. He's just a normal kid until he's walking down the street one day, and out of the corner of his eye, he sees this bookshop. And in the window, there's a sign that says, "Adventurers Wanted, apply inside." What is that? What does that mean? He has no idea. So he looks at the sign again, and it says, "Come in, adventurers wanted, come inside." And he's like, what is going on? And he goes inside, and he finds out he has been transported to a magical adventurer shop owned by Mr. Clutter. And Mr. Clutter is there to tell him all about this fantastic adventure that he has been invited to join. So Alex gets to learn all about this completely different realm of places and people. There's dwarves, there's elves, there is a wonderful horse that he absolutely adores named Cherie that he gets to ride for this journey. He gets to have a magic bag. I would love to have a magic bag. It is a bag that you carry that has gigantic rooms in it that you can have whatever you want in there. And it holds as many things as you want. I think I would have a library room, maybe a greenhouse room, a kitchen, maybe like the gigantic, most biggest bed possible so I could sit and read every day, all the time. But he's able to carry this magic bag with him to store treasure, because what kind of adventure would there be without treasure? And along the way, he ends up fighting a 3-legged troll. He fights a dragon, obviously. It's called Slathbog's Gold. It's just an absolutely amazing adventure full of amazing friends. And along the way, Alex learns that not only is he an adventurer, he can do magic. So after he accidentally singes off one of his companion's eyebrows trying to start a fire to start their evening meal, Alex learns he's actually a true wizard. So there is so many magical things that happen in this book series. I wish I could tell you all about it, but I really want you guys to read it even more. There are 5 books in this book series. It is The Adventurers Wanted by Mark Foreman. Now, I'm not just into adventure books. I also like a little fairy tale thrown in there, which is why my next book is The Wide Awake Princess by E.D. Baker. In here we have Princess Annie, who is definitely not your normal princess. She is actually the second princess in her kingdom, but you might know her older sister a little bit better, as she is also known as Sleeping Beauty. So when her sister was born, you guys know the story, all the fairies in the land came around and gave her all these beautiful magical gifts. She was beautiful, she's able to sing like a bird, when she also gets cursed to prick her finger on her 16th birthday, and the entire kingdom is set to be cursed to fall asleep. Well, that's just it. It does happen, but everybody falls asleep except for Annie. When Annie was born, her parents were like, "Hey, we do not want to go through all that business again. What can you do?" So Annie's fairy godmother made her impervious to magic. No magic can touch her at all. So when everybody else falls asleep, she's completely wide awake. So she takes it on herself to travel outside of the kingdom to go find a bunch of guys to help kiss her sister to wake everybody up. Now on this adventure, she meets lots of different princes, lots of different people, some good, some bad, but she's on the adventure with some of her friends to save the day. And my favorite thing about this is Annie is just a normal girl. She does not have any special magic powers. She can't sing like a bird. But whenever she gets close to somebody with magic, it just shuts it off. So if she gets close to her sister, who is magically beautiful, her sister starts to become a little less pretty, as well as some of the other things along the way. It is such a fun riot of a book, just because she's just your normal average girl, trooping along, just trying to save her family and her sister. This is also a book series where she goes on many other adventures filled with magic and whimsy and lots of adventure, which you know I like. Last up is more of where we're at today at the library. This is The Book Wanderers by Anna James. In here we have Tilly, who lives in a bookshop with her grandparents. Now that sounds pretty normal, you'd think. But Tilly and her grandparents have a very special ability where they are able to wander into books. They get to wander into the book. So Tilly gets to meet some of her favorite book characters like Anne of Green Gables, and she gets to go around inside the books. Not only that, she can read Anne out of the books. How cool would that be? I mean, I would be meeting people like Harry Potter or Alex or Annie in the other two books. What so much fun! So, Tilly gets into a whole mess of trouble when she finds out she has this ability, and she decides she's gonna hunt for her mom, who has disappeared, thinking maybe her mom has been kidnapped and disappeared into one of the books inside of their bookshop. So I hope you guys will also pick up this one to go on a magical bookish adventure, because you know that's right up my alley. So if you're interested in any of these books, you can come to the library and ask for me, or to look them up here at the library. If you guys have any book recommendations, I would love to hear them. So I'll see you guys the next time you stop by the library. Bye!